We will call the Football City Council meeting for Thursday, June 18th to order. May I have a roll call, please?
Councilman Baji. Here. Councilman Walker. Here. Mayor Wheaton.
Here.
Vice Mayor Eldridge. Here. Councilman Gilbert. Here. Five present.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to ask those that wish to do so to stand for the invocation given tonight by Pastor Scott Parkinson, Baptist Church, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Bow with me, please. Father, we thank you so much for our county. We thank you so much for our city. We thank you so much for our nation. And God, we just want to acknowledge, Lord, what's written on our courthouse right now. In God, we trust. And Lord, in humility, God, we just thank you for giving us life. We thank you, Lord, for creating us. And Lord, we celebrate along with the rest of our state this month, Nuclear Family Month. And Lord, we give you praise for your creative order and how you have set it in place. So now, God, I pray that in acknowledging you as Lord and creator of all, Lord, that we would conduct the business here today with you in mind. We offer this prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor. Item 3, consider approval of agenda as presented. Are there any changes?
No changes, Mayor.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Eldridge. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Baji. Any discussion from the council? All right, we will vote on that.
All votes correct. 5 yes, motion carries.
Thank you. 4A, consider one appointment and one reappointment to the Football Tree Board. Ms. Elrod.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So we have a recommendation letter here sent to you by the tree board. They have voted on at their recent June meeting that we appoint new member James Wood to a one-year term, replacing an existing member, Austin Sanders, that has moved out of the city. That remaining term will be from July 1, 2026 to July 1, 2027. And I do recommend your appointment of Mr. Woods. He is a recent city he has moved here recently in the city. He is a faculty member in the biology department at Tennessee Tech University and has accepted the tree board's recommendation on that appointment. The reappointment is for an existing member, Mr. Guy Zimberman. His 3-year term expires on July 1st, 2026, and I do recommend your appointment for an additional 3-year term lasting until July 1, 2029. And he has said that he is available and accepted a 3-year term if you choose so. So I do recommend your approval of those.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Walker. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Mayor Eldridge. Any discussion from the council on those appointments? All right, seeing none, we'll go ahead and vote on that.
All votes correct. 5 yes, motion carries.
Thank you.
Old business 5A, consider approval of minutes of council meeting held on June 4th, 2026. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Baji. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Mayor Eldridge. Any discussion from the council? Okay, vote on that.
All votes correct. 5 yes, motion carries.
Thank you. 5B, hold a public hearing and consider on second and final reading ordinance 026-0606, amending the fiscal year 2026 budget for the city of Cookeville, Tennessee. Ms. Alexander.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This ordinance is amending the current fiscal year's budget in the General Fund, State Street Aid Fund, Solid Waste Fund, Drug Fund, Economic Development Fund, Debt Service Fund, General Improvement Bond Fund, and Transportation Fund. There have been no changes since the first reading, but if you have any questions, I'll gladly answer them. I recommend your approval on second and final reading of the fiscal year 2026 budget amendments.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Baji, seconded by Councilman Gilbert. This is a public hearing, so anyone who would like to speak on this agenda item? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Any comments from the council?
Thank you for all the work.
Of course.
All right, we will go ahead and vote then.
All votes correct. 5 yes, motion carries.
Thank you. 5C, hold a public hearing and consider on second and final reading ordinance 026-0607, providing a tax levy for the city of Foothill, Tennessee for the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2027, providing means for the collection of revenues and establishing the due dates and delinquency dates for property taxes. Ms. Niswanger.
This ordinance establishes property taxes for the fiscal year 27 budget. We still don't have the certified tax rate, but we have not proposed property tax increase other than to round up to the nearest cent. Property taxes will be allocated to various funds, the same as it has been this last fiscal year with the new certified rate rounded. I'm happy to answer any questions, but recommend your approval on second and final
Any
reading.
more slides to present us?
Yeah, sorry.
Well, that's fine. We don't,
No, very, it's short.
I like it. I like it. Thank you. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Eldridge. Do I have a second? Second from Councilman Walker. This is also a public hearing. Is there anyone who would like to speak on this agenda item? Seeing none, close the public hearing portion. Any comments from the council?
Well, no changes from first reading, correct?
Correct. No changes. Yes.
We don't know the certified, we hope to know the certified tax rate 1st of July.
I hope so. Be nice to have it next week.
I think they wind up next week, don't they?
Yeah, it was the 22nd, I think, was their.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if they were gonna have to extend that or how that works. I know they had a lot of things going on.
We got a motion and a second. Any more comments from the council? All right, all vote.
All votes correct. 5 yes, motion carries.
Thank you. 5D, hold a public hearing and consider on second and final reading ordinance 026-0608, authorizing appropriations for financial aid to public service, nonprofits, and charitable organizations for the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2027. Ms. Niswanger.
This ordinance appropriates funding of $1,051,055 to various government, public service, and nonprofit and charitable organizations for fiscal year 2027. $876,055 is allocated to governmental partners and joint ventures, and $160,000 allocated to nonprofits. There have been no changes since last reading. I'm happy to answer any questions, but recommend your approval on second and final reading.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Gilbert. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Walker. This is also a public hearing. Is there anyone who'd like to speak on this agenda item? Okay, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing portion. Any comments from the council? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and vote.
All votes correct. 5 yes, motion carries.
Thank you. 7E, hold a public hearing and consider on second and final reading ordinance 026-0609, adopting the annual budget for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2026 and ending June 30th, 2027 for the city of Foothill, Tennessee. Ms. Niswanger.
This last ordinance provides for the adoption of our fiscal year 2027 budget for all departments and all funds. Just to summarize, for the general fund, this budget appropriates revenues and transfers in of $40,955,728 and appropriates operating and capital expenditures and transfers out of $45,307,028. We project to end next fiscal year with a fund balance of $34,422,024. As a reminder, we have citywide proposed expenditures of $244,474,039. There have been no changes in this ordinance since the first reading. I'm glad to answer any questions or give details for any funds if you'd like, but I recommend your approval of the ordinance and to adopt the city's budget for fiscal year 2027 for the city of Cookeville on second and final reading.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
So a motion made by Councilman Bachi. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Mayor Eldridge. Also a public hearing. Anyone who'd like to speak on this item? Seeing none, we will close the public hearing. Any comments from the council?
Yeah, I've got a comment. This is the most important thing we do on council, I think, is to pass our budget. Even though most of you would say feel like maybe it's most important when you call me and you need a street light replaced or, something's overflowing in the road.
This is what makes it happen.
Or somebody's hit a mailbox. But this is the most important thing that I think any council member does is pass this budget. It sets up the entire year for projects and what we're going to do. And
After 8 years of doing this, I'm actually really proud to have been a part of it and get everything that we have gotten accomplished. I'm very proud of you on your first budget, and I'm excited to see where Cookville's headed.
Me too.
So this, if anybody wants to know where we're headed, you can find it in this budget. It says a lot to all the hard work that the city employees and staff are doing for our great city. Thank you.
I will agree. Congratulations on your first budget. You did a great job.
Thank you.
And yeah, I like what, Captain Walker said, this is our job, is to take care of the city of football, and you do that by taking care of your budget. And y'all have done a great job, and it's also because of our department heads and our city manager. So if you ever have questions about what we're doing and why we can or cannot do certain things, it's in the budget. It's right there. So thank you for doing this, and I will not miss doing the budget next year. Sorry, you might, but I will not. But I might come.
Thank you. Congratulations on your final budget.
Any other comments from the council? All right.
Thank you for the work.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
Good job.
We'll vote.
All votes correct. 5 yes, motion carries.
Thank you. 5F, hold a public hearing and consider on second and final reading ordinance 026-0610, adopting the annual budget for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2026 and ending June 30th, 2027 for the Cookville Regional Medical Center. They're not here, so yeah, it's nice one you're going to present.
Yes. This ordinance sets the budget for the hospital for fiscal year 2027. Their budget appropriates $558,945,579 in revenues, $536,976,052 in expenditures, a positive change in net position of $21,969,527. This ordinance also appropriates a capital budget of $27,816,662 for departmental capital and $59.9 million for expansion projects. I recommend your approval on second and final reading. There are no changes.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion made by Councilman Walker. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Mayor Eldridge. This is also a public hearing. Anyone who'd like to speak on the CRMC budget? Okay, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Any comments from council? I will say the board passed it unanimously.
Yeah.
Yes, there were any questions, so. All right, seeing none, we will go ahead and vote on that.
All votes correct. 5 yes, motion carries.
Thank you. On to the consent agenda. 6A, consider awarding bid for 19 steel poles. 6B, consider awarding bid for 34-aught earth wire. Yeah, shoot, I practiced this. 6C, consider awarding bid for 25 kVA transformers. I'm messing up. God, how did I wrote it out? Everything. 6D, consider awarding bid for 6 75 kVA CSP transformers. I'm gonna fill Paul for making me say all these things. 6E, consider approval to purchase various AMI, advanced metering infrastructure meters. 6F, consider awarding bids for chemicals. 6G, consider declaring surplus vehicles and equipment. And that is it for the consent agenda. Do I have a motion on the consent agenda? Motion made by Councilman Bodgie, seconded by Councilman Walker. Any discussion from the council other than I can't pronounce? Being none, we will go ahead and vote on that.
Erd's the fancy way of saying it.
That's what y'all taught me.
But most people say underground.
Y'all told me the slang.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think they were messing with me, Mayor. I think they were messing with me.
Big saying her.
All votes correct. 5 yes, motion carries.
Did not say your, that is Sparta. Do not say that.
You're.
That's right.
On to new business. 7A, consider resolution R260610, authorizing the city manager to execute a proposal with TDOT for the dedicated right turn lane on South Willow Avenue at Interstate. Mr. Ward.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So our South Willow Avenue dedicated right turn lane project at Interstate Drive was initiated by the council through the Tennessee Department of Transportation's statewide partnership program. Council committed to contributing up to $500,000 to construct this project and get the project moving forward. The TDOT has prepared design plans and has submitted a project proposal for the dedicated right turn lane project. As part of this, TDOT requires the proposal to be formally presented to and accepted by the City Council through a resolution. Under the proposal, the city will be responsible for relocating utilities, dedicating any necessary right-of-way, and maintaining facilities that are the city's responsibility that are constructed as part of this project. The proposal and plans have been reviewed through the line and grade plans review by our Public Works, our Energy and Water Quality Control Departments. Resolution R-250-812 authorizes the city manager to sign and accept TDOT's proposal for the South Willow Avenue dedicated right turn lane project. I recommend your approval. Happy to answer any questions from council on this one.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Elders, seconded by Councilman Walker. Any discussion for the public on this? Discussion from council?
I'm really happy that people work with TDOT directly, in getting this done. I think in the past several years, we've taken a one-on-one relationship with TDOT. Thanks to James and direct communication with TDOT, we've been able to get some meetings and a lot of work starting to funnel down in that area. And I think that's very important for the city. And I'm just proud of our city council for making those pushes and directly work.
Yeah, because we presented this, just 2 years ago?
Yes, and we already have draft plans. So this has moved, the partnership program has been an avenue to get a project started with TDOT. It's been a great.
TDOT talked about, said, if you want to do something, look at what Cookville did. So the fact that we presented this 2 years ago, it wasn't even on their radar, and we're here doing this resolution is just a testament to, that partnership. So great job, everybody.
Yeah, I want to commend TDOT and they followed through with their word. If y'all remember at the meetings we had, they told us if we had skin in the game, that would speed up a project. This is proof of that. We put 500,000 in and they're picking up the rest. And if you've seen the comments and heard the comments I have, that Willow needs this turn lane to speed traffic through that intersection. So I want to commend John. John's worked really hard on this and done a great job.
Certainly.
It's justified too. This is going to help prevent that traffic from queuing up to that off ramp.
Tons of right turns at that intersection, right? This should really help flow with traffic flow.
And our state representatives were part of that too. And they're due a debt of gratitude as well. We appreciate their liaison relationship with the state as well.
Absolutely.
Any other comments?
It's good to see all those partnerships working together, right? So.
Let's vote.
All votes correct. 5 yes, motion carries.
Thank you. 7B, consider approval and authorize the city manager to execute a right-of-way exchange with certain property owners on Guardian Way. Mr. Ward.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This item is a proposed right-of-way exchange related to the extension of Guardian Way for the VA clinic that's currently under construction off Neal Street and Guardian Way. The initial design for this project, as shown on your guys' screen, proposed extending Guardian Way directly from the existing cul-de-sac. That's the current design there. Staff reviewed that design and we rejected it because it did not provide the proper street alignment needed for the long-term extension of Guardian Way. Staff required the alignment to be revised so the street could be extended in a more appropriate and functional manner. As part of the revised alignment, the existing cul-de-sac configuration will be eliminated. So this is our final alignment you guys see on your screen. This creates some excess city right-of-way that is no longer needed for the street layout. At the same time, the city needs small portions of adjacent private property to establish the new Guardian Way right-of-way. The proposed exchange would allow the city to deed excess right-of-way to the adjacent property owners where appropriate, and in return, those property owners would deed the needed right-of-way to the city for this Guardian Way alignment. The primary properties involved are Shanks Properties, which is the Golden Oak Dentistry location, and the Cookville Church of Christ. So that's on the Golden Oaks on the north side, and the Cookville Church of Christ is on the south side. So staff's worked with the VA development team to have survey exhibits prepared showing both the excess right-of-way areas and the areas needed for the alignment. We've provided these exhibits to our utility departments. For their review, the Water Quality Control Department requires maintaining any existing easements, and the Energy Department needs a 10-foot utility easement along the south side of Guardian Way that we'll retain through this exchange. So this is showing the excess right-of-ways. If you see track 1, that's the portion that will be excess from eliminating the cul-de-sac. The track 2 is the southern portion. That's excess right-of-way on the south. That's adjacent to the Cookville Church of Christ properties. This is the portion of property that we need from the Shanks property, the Golden Oak site, that triangle area. And this is the section that is needed from the Cookville Church of Christ.
There's also a small remnant of area associated with the RKB Group property. And with working with RKB Group, they own the remaining property. They are going to address those remnants and deed that to the Cookeville Church of Christ property as well. So we don't have any reserve strip areas that would limit access. So I recommend approval of this right-of-way exchange and authorizing the city manager to execute the necessary deeds or any other related documents to finalize the exchange. Happy to answer any questions on this item.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Baji. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Mayor Eldridge. Any discussion from the public on this agenda item? Discussion from council? I know we've already broken ground, did the groundbreaking ceremony.
Correct.
They're getting to work over there, aren't they?
John, I believe the plan, the long range plan here, and even when we first did this development with the police department, is for Guardian Way to go all the way through to Salem Church Road, which is, helps in a lot of different fashions. One, it gives our police department a quicker access to that side of town. Plus, there's additional development expected on this property. So this, I want to also commend John again here on all his hard work to get this worked out, which will be a big benefit to the city and to the property owners.
Any other comment? Okay, all vote.
All votes correct. 5 yes, motion carries.
Thank you.
7C, consider resolution R 260609 expressing certain expenditures to be incurred in connection with certain projects and related expenditures to be reimbursed from proceeds of notes, bonds, or other indebtedness to be issued by the city of Football, Tennessee. Ms. Nyslander.
Mayor and council, the city currently has planned in the fiscal year 27 budget projects, including improvements to 39 Depot, East-West Connector, design engineering on 10th Street for Phase 3, a fire training facility. It is our intent to issue additional debt to finance these projects. We anticipate requesting council approval to issue bonds later this fall. Intent to reimburse resolutions are a normal part of large projects and will allow us to utilize fund balance if obligations are incurred on these projects before the bond proceeds have been made available for us to use. We will then reimburse the general fund from proceeds when we get the money. I'm happy to answer any questions, but recommend your approval of this resolution. And this does have a not to exceed of 10 million, sorry.
Sorry. Thank you. Is there a motion on this resolution?
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Baji, seconded by Vice Mayor Eldridge. Any discussion from the public? Discussion from council? Okay. All vote.
All votes correct. 5 yes, motion carries.
Thank you. 7D, consider approval and authorize the city manager to execute change order number 1 to the architectural agreement with AEI for construction of an expansion of the Energy Department facility located on West Davis Road. Mr. Haney.
Mayor and council members, our original contract with AEI was for $500,000. This change order includes some areas that we identified that needed to be included in the scope of that work. Here's some of those revisions. They include our east parking lot, which has some drainage issues that needed a storm drain installed. We had to take part of our property to the south for the detention pond, and then also we had a temporary laydown area for a pole yard. We wanted to make that permanent. So those areas are included in this change order. You can see here where those are in relationship to the new facility. Too far, but anyway, so I request your approval for this change order for $100,000 to the AEI contract.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Eldridge. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Gilbert. Any discussion from the public? Discussion from council? Okay, we'll take a vote.
Brian.
All votes correct. 5 yes, motion carries.
Thank you. 7E, consider approval and authorize the city manager to execute change order number 5 for the expansion of the Energy Department facility located on West Davis Road. Mr. Haney.
Mayor and council members, this is for the fourth and final phase of our construction of the facility. There are some pictures here. It shows where we're at in that construction. Most of the site work for phase 1 is complete now. We have the subroof down and HVAC going in. as we speak. And then under the roof tomorrow, they're going to start installing some of the metal stud walls and such. So it's moving along. This change order includes all the remaining components to finish the facility. Those bids came in at $10,836,338. We have included $400,000 built in for contingency, and the contract allowance amounts for this phase is $1,029,920.42. This brings the total for this change order to $12,266,258.42. And the budget for this phase was $13,855,066. So roughly about $1.5 million under budget for this phase. So we was real happy with the bids that we received on it. It's great. And here's sort of just a cost summary of the total project. As you can see there, the original budget amount for the total project was $23.6 million. Phase 1 was 2.3. Phase 2 is 2.4 million. The phase 3, which is mechanical, plumbing, and electrical, was 3.3 million, and then this final one at 12.2. So that brings all phases to 20.4 million at this time, which is the budget impact on that was 3.2 million under budget at this time. So I do request your approval of this 5th change order.
Thank you. Is there a motion? Motion made by Councilman Baji, seconded by Councilman Eldridge. Any discussion from the public on this agenda item? Yes, from council.
Great job. That's significant.
Thank you.
Carl, was there any change from Monday?
Oh, there was a little bit. I'm glad you mentioned that. The structural people found that above the bay doors that there wasn't adequate steel there, so they did add that to this project. So from Monday to the amounts I just gave you include that as additional, but about $80,000 it added to the total change order. So yes, sir. I'm glad. Yes, that includes the issues.
So we didn't have to come back with a new number. So
Yeah.
good job by Carl.
Yeah.
We want to make sure you knew that had changed slightly from Monday.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yes, much like the police department, who was under budget as well. Yeah, recognizing you.
There's a competition there that I'm encouraging. You can beat them. You can beat them, Carol.
Yes, but that, congratulations on the thing about it. That's impressive. Any other comments from the council? All right, all vote.
All votes correct. 5 yes, motion carries.
Thank you. 7F, consider authorizing the city manager to execute a contract renewal for pump and motor repair. Mr. Turner.
Mayor and members of the council, this contract is for pump maintenance, as you said, and we've used John Bouchard down at the water plant for many years. They do good work. This original contract was approved in 2024 and had the ability to renew it for 2 years. This will be the second renewal, which will take us through June of 2027. And I recommend your approval for this.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Eldridge. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Gilbert. Any discussion from the public? Discussion from council? All vote.
All votes correct. 5 yes, motion carries.
Thank you. 7G, consider authorizing the city manager to execute change order number 3 for the water treatment plant generator construction project. Mr. Turner.
On this generator project, which was using ARP funds, due to time constraints, we didn't bid everything together. We bid a lot of the equipment separate and the construction separate. So this was some work that was left out of all of those different contracts or for furnishing and installing some connectors. This adds $4,341. WNO's the contractor. It brings the total contract price up to $1,877,373 of the construction part. Like I said, there's some other items purchased different than this, but I recommend approval for this.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Baji. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Mayor Eldridge. Any discussion from the public? Any discussion from council?
This is having a generator at your water plant is very important. So,
Yes, and it's capable of being run now. It's not complete yet, but it's capable of serving the purpose.
Any other comments? Okay, all vote.
All votes correct. 5 yes, motion carries.
Thank you. 7H, consider authorizing the city manager to execute change order number 1, final balance for the 2025 Green Acres subdivision water line replacement project. Mr. Turner.
This project is using Cleary Construction, and during this project, there was a line that we believed to be 6 inch that ended up being 2 inch. So we had to extend it another 400 feet to make the connection. And then there was another street that we determined had galvanized pipe that we added to this contract as well, which is approximately 290 feet of 2 inch had been installed. That's the biggest part of this increase, and everything else was adjusted to the actual quantities used in the contract. This adds a total of $66,255.80, bringing the total contract up to $683,077.80. And I recommend your approval.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Eldridge. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Gilbert. Any discussion from the public on this item? Any discussion on it? No? Take a vote.
All votes correct. 5 yes, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. 7I, consider on first reading ordinance 0260612, amending the City of Cookeville Municipal Code Title 8, Chapter 2, and Chapter 4. Mr. Mills.
Mayor and council members, as we discussed on Monday, Title 8 is our alcoholic beverages provisions in our municipal code. Chapter 4 deals with beer, and there are several changes in this ordinance that our city clerk, Mr. Coons, has worked on for the last several months, and we'd like to get these changes done through this ordinance. There's also one change in Chapter 4, which is our alcoholic beverages on on-premise consumption. Most of these changes, we believe, are just housekeeping. We need to bring our ordinance into compliance with TCA in terms of provisions and also in terms of definitions. It also beefs up our enforcement ability for those facilities or providers that do not pay their privilege tax. So Darren wants some extra teeth to make sure we collect that privilege tax. Perhaps the biggest change that this includes deals with caterers, which we currently don't address in our code, which we need to address, and that does include those. And those are licensed by the Tennessee Alcoholic Board Commission. Is that what they're called, Darren?
It's Alcoholic Beverage Commission.
Alcoholic Beverage Commission. So, this does not make any changes in terms of where alcohol can be served, in particular on public property. It does not affect that at all. Correct, Darren?
Correct.
And Darren's worked really hard on this, but these are changes that we need to make, and I would recommend your approval.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion, yes.
Second, sorry.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Eldridge, seconded by Councilman Baji. Any discussion from the public? Discussion from council?
We don't get to thank Darren that much. Thanks for the work, Darren. Thank you. Darren's down here doing all the work. We never thank him.
He is on us.
So,
Paul, been asking strange questions.
that's right.
Thank you for that.
Thank you for wanting teeth.
Any other comments or congratulations? Okay, saying that, we will go ahead and vote on that one.
All votes correct. 5 yes, motion carries.
Thank you. And 7J, consider authorizing the city manager to execute a change order to the engineering agreement to replace electrical equipment at City Hall. Mr. Mills.
Mayor and council members, we were supposed to have the electrical switch replaced here at City Hall this weekend. And we've had to postpone that, and that this electrical switch or the equipment that we need has not been delivered. And the original time for delivery was 6 months, and it's going to be longer than that. We were notified. So this contract amendment adds 40 days. We hope it gets here within 40 days. They've assured us, I guess, as best they can, but it's really out of their control. It's been, I don't know if this is coming overseas, Chad. But anyway, we don't have the switch to make the repair. There's no choice here that I can see but to extend the contract. And I recommend your approval and authorize me to extend it for 40 days.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Baji, seconded by Councilman Gilbert. Any discussion with the public? Discussion from council.
It's probably worth noting, this is not a switch you can just run down to
Yeah.
Walmart.
Oh,
No, no.
Can't just run down to Walmart and get this. It's bespoke for a
but
1960.
we can let Carl and Mr. Haney explain, but this is a big piece of equipment that you don't want to monkey around with, but affects all the power of the building, so.
We will wait, we will be patient. Got a motion and a second, any other discussion? Okay, take a vote.
All votes correct. 5 yes, motion carries.
Thank you. That concludes the agenda portion of this meeting. Is there anyone who'd like to speak to the council on any non-agenda items? Seeing none, any comments from the council? Seeing none, we will adjourn.